Close your eyes for a second. Just imagine you're on a spaceship. You said, okay, I'm gonna explore, I'm gonna grow, I'm gonna go further than anyone's ever gone before. And it's gonna feel pretty awesome. You can look around and there's stars and there's planets and everything looks beautiful. It's the most amazing thing you've ever seen. You're going really fast, doing something that's very, very good for all of mankind. That's what you're doing when you've committed to building something that's in your heart, whether it's that book you want to write or business or just something that you want to improve about yourself. You're doing a service to all of mankind when you commit to doing that. But what you're also signing up for is pain and difficulty. You're going to hit asteroids. If you can look out for them and be aware of them, then you know that they're not existential threats, that they're actually common asteroids that everyone encounters when they're traveling and growing. So the eyes of growth. One is insecurity. In terms of entrepreneurship as a creative process, I can feel like a superhero 1 minute and I can feel like a total piece of crap an hour later, and that's normal. There's going to be times where you feel indecision. There's paralysis by analysis. There's going to be two choices. There's going to be two businesses, and you're going to get caught up in it. Well, that indecision is just a form of resistance or something that you need to be aware of and surrender to continue moving. Same with irritability. This happens to me particularly when I'm trying to figure something out and I'm just obsessed about it and I can't put it down. Inaction is another one. So procrastination, you're not making progress or not working on something on a daily basis. The pressure can mount and that can lead to inaction. You can also feel imposter syndrome, especially as you start to see some of the fruits of your labor come to fruition and you start to experience outer success. You'll start to question whether or not you deserve it or whether or not you're the type of person who can even accomplish these types of things. Think also about incongruence. What you're doing with this program and this type of creative process is that you are shedding your old self and becoming a new person. Even if it's just a goal that you're trying to accomplish for the month, by definition, it's something that's a stretch that you haven't accomplished before. You can't rely on the old you to accomplish this new vision or new goal that you've set for yourself. You need to become the new person for whom those things can happen. But in that process, you have a lot of old programming that you're bringing with you. There's going to be thoughts and feelings that come up for you that are not congruent with this new self. And you need to be aware of them and you need to surrender them and let them go. Impatience is another one. Once you get really good at visualizing things and you're really excited about whatever it is you're doing or building, you can see it, you can taste it, and it doesn't exist yet, and that's frustrating. You can also create imbalance. So if you're really focused on something and trying to grow a particular area of your life, unless you're doing things like the daily prayer and continuing to focus on all 5 key areas of your life at least a little bit and giving them a little bit of love and attention and gratitude, you can fall victim to imbalance. Insignificant stuff. What I mean by this is 2 things. One is you can surrender insignificant stuff. We just automatically think like there's a little thing, I'll handle that, right? But you can actually surrender that. No problem is too small for you to surrender to your higher power and ask for help. The other way I mean this is that most of the stuff we worry about or that we're concerned about or that we can ruminate over is insignificant in the scheme of things, so we can surrender it. Also really important stuff. When you have that feeling of existential crisis or existential threat, you're not going to be able to accomplish what it is you're trying to accomplish. That feels super important and you can surrender that. You can turn that over. You don't have to bear that yourself. And so what can we do with these things? If we don't recognize them as just common obstacles in the path of growth, then we can feel like these are really existential threats and like it's terrible and you might be tempted to get off that growth path. If we were able to talk about these together and you're able to recognize that these are very common things that everyone is going through, you can recontextualize how you see them. See these as signs that you're growing. When you're in the video game, you're feeling it, boy, it feels really scary, but if you can take a step back, create some space, remember, that's not an existential threat. That's just a sign that you're growing. It's a natural symptom of the expansion. See these as opportunities to deepen your spirituality. What I mean by that is just your connection with your higher power, your reliance, your trust in that higher power. When you're experiencing these things, you surrender them. Each time you do that, you're deepening that relationship with your higher power. And you can see them also as opportunities to heal. Remember, each of these things corresponds with an emotion or feeling inside of you, often very, very old programs or traumas that no longer serve you, right? We see the worry or this blocker, that that brings up that feeling within us, once it's brought up, we're able to give it the love and attention that it needs so that we can surrender it and over time continue to kind of dissolve that or transform that. That's healing. Unless you have these problems that are bringing these things to the surface, you can't heal. All of those traumas and emotions and old programs will stay below the surface where you can't really see them. You're gonna have these things in your life. As soon as you commit to growing, you can always throw in the towel and not have these things in your life and just not grow. But I think the pain of apathy and stagnation is a lot worse than the pain of growth in the long run. I would urge you to continue to grow and just recognize these things for what they are, which is very, very common things that happen to anybody who's committed to growing. Recontextualize them. See it as a positive thing, as a sign that you're growing, an opportunity for you to deepen your spirituality and your reliance on your higher power, and it's an opportunity for you to heal yourself.